Sandholme to Eastrington is the next instalment of this Hull Barnsley series. As we leave Wallingfen and episode 8 behind us, links in the description box for those that have missed earlier episodes, we travel west towards the small village of Sandholme. This was a key station and goods yard for the Hull Barnsley Railway, where heavy freight from Stairfoot and the Yorkshire collieries were broken down into manageable loads for the journey over the top towards the summit of this railway at Little Weighton, towards the docks at Hull. The station was a grand building with large passenger canopies, toilets, waiting rooms and a booking office. Sandholme had extensive sidings and its own signal box to the east with a level crossing. The crossing gates here were unusual, as they were operated by a wheel within the signal box, and they traversed the crossing on hinged posts. Motion was provided by rod gearing to drive the hinge post, which in turn operated the gates. There were 6 gates that controlled the pedestrian and road traffic. To the west, Sandholme Lane was raised over the railway, which also acted as access for pedestrians to each platform. These bridges were removed in the 1970s during the construction of the M62 just to the south of the railway station. The embankment for the bridges was increased to carry a new bridge over the motorway, which is still in place to this day. Very little remains of Sandholme Station's buildings and goods yard. The footprint of the site is visible in this drone footage. Hey viewers, so we're a bit further up the railway now, and we're in Sandholme Lane, which is here, going north to south, and that's Landing Lane. Here, there used to be all railway sidings, right where the blue dot is. That was all railway sidings. If we go to Rail Map Online, you can see it was all sidings there. So we're going to take a walk on this part here, because that's just a big caravan place now and you can't get in, it's all fenced off. But here, this part is this. So we're going to take a little walk on the track bed, see if there's any remains of the previous railway era. So like I say, we're in an area called Sandholme. Behind us was Wallingfen Station, and going this way is towards the River Ouse and Long Drax. We can see trees left and right here where the railway line used to run, and a lot of these trees were either planted by railwaymen to shore up the ground, or it's simply people throwing apples and things out the window. The seeds root, bed in and grow, and 60 years later there is a tree. We found some different type. These are British Rail, these ones. Boundary markers on the edge, just in the ditch. See it just there? There's a row of them. They're quite overgrown, but there is a row, and then there's a concrete gate post there, just like we saw at Wallingfen Railway Station. It's still got the hinge hanger. I'm going to carry on now, going towards the Ouse River and the crossing that was at Long Drax, so keep watching. So we're a little further up the road now, going towards Long Drax.
There's the line of the old trackbed, and we think, what a keeper's cottage.
We believe it was part of the Ingswood level crossing, with a signal box on the south side and a keeper's cottage on the north side. Crossing Mill Lane, this was a busy agricultural area.
And we can see here the Hull Barnsley Railway markers next to the more modern British Rail markers here. going along that way, along the track line, the old track bed of the railway. Going that way. And that was the old track bed. Dave's just found at this side.
There's a line of them. There's a big concrete post.
The concrete British Rail ones, yeah.
Line of British Rail
Concrete British Rail marker post there. That's one of the old Hull Barnsley Railway marker posts. And there's a line of the concrete ones along this hedge line here as it goes back towards Sandholme Lane. And then this way is off to Long Drax. That's an old railway keeper's cottage there, Crossing Cottage, and then Drax towards Long Drax that way. And that is the old track bed going back towards Sandholme. We're near the village of Eastrington and we're continuing our journey along the Hull Barnsley Railway. Behind us there, that's a Hull Barnsley boundary marker here at Eastrington. And then along here we've simply got the track bed is totally built on now.
Looking from above, the alignments of the railway track bed can be made out on the east and west sides of Eastrington. The station was renamed North Eastrington in 1922 by the North Eastern Railways to avoid confusion with the Hull and Selby line station of the same name, which was given the South prefix. North Eastrington station had slightly staggered platforms to accommodate a loop through the goods yard, which ran around the back of the down platform to the north, as shown on this railway diagram supplied by my friend Mick Nicholson. The main station building was on the upside towards Stairfoot. It comprised a two-storey brick-built station master's house with a pitched slate roof and a gable end facing onto the platform, similar to the previous station buildings along this line. There was a single-storey booking office also with a pitched slate roof. There was a large wooden canopy stretching the full width of the platform. On the downside towards Hull, there was a small brick waiting room.
We should hopefully be able to pick up the line again as it moves towards the Hull and Selby Railway, because these lines actually crossed not far from where the M62 is. And then back this way, here at Eastrington, that is the line going back towards Wallingfen Station, North Cave and South Cave, that way. Should we take a drive up there and have a look?
Let's go, folks.
Let's go for some bando.
Let's go for second gear. So this would have been absolutely die flat once back in the day, but it's a bit boggy now. But you can see here where it looks like there's been a siding because the track bed's gone wider.
There's quite a lot of sidings up here.
Yes, so yeah, this is the track bed of the former Hull and Barnsley Railway. Yeah, well, and then this is fenced off, that continued on towards Wallingfen Station, viewers. Then, but we can see in the ground here, if I just grab the camera, we can see in the ground there, it looks like old ballast on the floor. So yeah, we've clearly got a lot of railway history here. So it was nice to do that part of the track. So we're at the other side of Eastrington now, back on what we believe this is the track bed of the newly developed village, and we're going to carry on because not far up here the Hull and Selby Railway actually goes underneath the Hull Barnsley Railway. They did actually meet. We're just going to check this part of the trackbed out, see what remains of it, and then we're going to carry on a little further up and see if we can find where the bridge parts were, because the Hull Barnsley Railway had a bridge over the Hull and Selby Railway. And Paul's just found some
ironmongery.
Ironmongery. That is Hull. Should you just hold that up, Paul? So there's some Hull and Barnsley ironmongery there, and that looks like an old boundary marker post. What, a wooden one? Oh, concrete boundary marker. We've got an old London brick there, part of it. It's like 1950s. Oh, what's Paul found? We've got here railway sleeper.
No, it's a wooden structure.
Oh right, there's been a wooden structure here. Wow.
We believe that this could have been a platelayer's hut or permanent way hut, for use as a shelter and for storing materials and tools. There were 2 signal boxes here at Eastrington, at either end of the station, near to Portington Road and Carr Lane respectively.
Can't be sure what we found, but we seem to think this could have been a Groundframe.
Yeah, just here, viewers. We've got a wooden structure on the side of the trackbed. There was a ditch there, and then the trackbed was here. And we've seen on Rail Map Online that there was a siding, a long siding here, which would explain why the trackbed's wider. So this has had a long siding just along here. And then we found the debris and the concrete marker posts in there, and then Paul's just found the wood just on the side of the trackbed there, which could have been for a ground frame. Can you just explain what a ground frame is, Paul?
Ground frame is simply a signal box without a roof, and you can operate it locally under instructions, and obviously a protocol has to be followed, but normally it's just for sardines. Now there was sardines to a cattle dock to the right of the station, and some other sardines.
Yes, so it could be something to do with the local siding here.
Yes.
Yes. I hope you're enjoying this railway series. If you are, please hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell to receive notifications of new videos. I've done a few YouTube shorts recently of different engines going past Grabley Creek crossing box, and if you want to see more of those, just leave a comment. If you've got any ideas for future videos, just get in touch. But for now, we'll continue with this Hull Barnsley Railway series. What have you found here then, Paul?
Well, I found this in the bushes and I dragged it out, and because of this mechanism here, I'm beginning to wonder if it was off.
There's a hinge there.
Off an old coal hopper, you know, back in the day. Look.
Yeah, the type of material and the old style stapling of the steel,
yeah,
would suggest it's rather old.
It's off a really old coal hopper.
Yeah, with the mechanism on it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hull Barnsley Railway.
There we go. Dave's just getting a shot there. Check out Dave's Instagram, ALW Exploring Dave. Whilst you're at it, check out all 3. What's your channel called again?
Hidden Beauty in Decay.
Yeah, and mine's ALW Research Team. Check those out, folks. So Paul's just found something at the side of the trackbed. Concrete signal post.
What else would that? That wouldn't be a gate post.
Not here, no.
It wouldn't be.
That's totally upright true as well.
Yeah.
We think that is, go on, tell them what you think it is, Paul.
I think it's an original Hull Barnsley signal post.
Concrete signal post. Because there we've got some burnt coal, also known as coal slag, there, right next to this. It's been bashed over. And there's other bits of bashed splashed up concrete near it, where they've removed the infrastructure at the end of the railway's days, and that is right at the edge of the track bed where you would expect to see a signal. Just so we're just east of Eastrington, and you can see it's been steel reinforced. Yeah, and there's some of the steel. And Dave's just found something.
Oh, no, me. Paul found it.
Paul found it. Credit to Paul.
But Dave can explain what it is.
It's a telegraph pole.
What?
Wire tensioner.
Yeah, so you'll see telegraph poles, and there's usually a wire next to it that holds it upright, and that's what that is. That's an old tensioner from when the railways used to have telegraph poles run alongside them. That's actually still fitted in the ground, still solid from back in the railway days. When they've come and chopped the telegraph pole down, they've simply left the tensioner there for us to find. So carrying on down the railway, which is becoming an embankment, as you can see at the sides here, because they've had to build it up, because the Hull and Selby Railway was already there, so they've had to build this up to go over the Hull and Selby Railway, which hopefully we'll be able to get up to. Did you hear that, viewers? That was a service on the Hull to Selby Railway, so we're getting close. You can see we're at obviously ground level before, but we're now a good 20 metres up and still climbing. Very slight gradient going up towards the former bridge that would have been over the Hull and Selby Railway. There's some former railway sleepers there, just at the side of the footpath. And then I believe this is where the embankment seems to end, where there would have been a bridge over the Hull to Selby Railway. No, yes, we can definitely start to see it now. I was really rather hoping to still see the brick ends of the bridge, but it looks like it's been re-engineered to just a slight bank. These steps are old railway sleepers. We could see the 4 large bolts that held a shoe for the railway of the Hull and Barnsley Railway, and then this way we've got the active Hull to Selby Railway. Now we can see there some brick structure. Can you see that, viewers? Just on the other side of the track bed, and that's the Hull and Barnsley Railway. So that is the former brick support of the bridge.
Bridge number 80, constructed with brick parapets and ashlar cappings. The lattice and cross girders supported the heavy-duty floor plates which carried the double track of the Hull and Barnsley Railway over the Hull to Selby Railway at approximately 80 degrees.
Right there, that is it. I can go a bit lower, but I think you'll get, the view won't be as good. We'll just double check. I'm still on a footpath, look, I'm not trespassing. The railway fence is there. This is the railway, this is a BR fence boundary, railway boundary, so beyond that is trespassing. And that is the bank right there. Hope this is coming out alright, because the weather's not so good, but I'll just lift you up. That is the bottom of the old Hull and Barnsley Railway bridge that bridged over the North Eastern Railways, Hull to Selby Railway. Hull is that way, Selby is that way. Viewers, you know the ashlar caps, the sandstone top-ins to all the bridges structures that I've shown you up to now? Well, I've just found the ones for this bridge, and it's just dumped at the side here. Where when they've demolished the bridge, that is it, right there. So here we have some of the bricks that were part of the bridge here at Eastrington, going over the North Eastern Railway, and this is, I believe, one of the sandstone caps that was on top of the bridge structure, all just left behind, pushed as bashed down and pushed aside as they no longer needed this bridge. And I believe we've got a rail service coming now, so I'll just get down. I can hear that sing of the track. There we are. That is a class 802 of the former Hull Trains operator. Hull Trains went bankrupt recently during the pandemic last year. They went bust, unfortunately. But back here, so that was a class 802. Here we've got bricks where they've simply bashed away at the brick embankments for brick parapets for the bridge, and this sandstone cap here is all that remains as a reminder of the Hull Barnsley Railway that was formerly here. So that's part of the old bridge. Thank you so much for watching this ALW Research Team video. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you every Thursday with a new video. This series will continue on towards Long Drax, the bridge over the River Ouse at Long Drax Station, and Drax Power Station, and the line that's still there. Some of the line was put back in 1974 to feed Drax Power Station with coal. So we'll see that next time. Bye bye for now.
Looking over my shoulder, looking back at your door. In my head it goes over and over. Should I leave or want it more? Looking over my shoulder.